I took a night shift job at a 24-hour diner. I don't think my coworkers are human. Look, I know how this is gonna sound, but I swear every word is true. I'm a college student, and last month I picked up a job at this 24-hour diner on the edge of town. You know the type, stuck in the 1950s, neon sign, jukebox in the corner. I got the graveyard shift 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The pay was good and I figured it'd be easy. Boy, was I wrong. The first couple of nights were normal. Drunk college kids at 2 a.m., truckers grabbing coffee, the usual. But then I started noticing things. Little things at first, like how my coworker Darlene, this 60-something waitress who's been there forever, never seems to blink. I'm not exaggerating. I watched her for a full hour one night and those eyes didn't close once. Or how the short order cook, Eddie, moves. It's hard to describe, but it's like too smooth. Like someone animated him but forgot to add the little imperfections that make a person look real. But the weirdest thing? The regulars. There's this group that comes in every night at exactly 3:17 a.m. 6 of them, always the same booth. They order coffee, but I've never seen them drink it. They just sit there, staring at each other, occasionally making these clicking sounds that I guess are supposed to be laughter. Last night, I got curious. I pretended to wipe down their table and accidentally knocked over one of their coffee cups. It should have spilled everywhere, but it didn't. The liquid disappeared before it hit the table, just vanished. When I looked up, all 6 of them were staring at me. Their eyes, God, their eyes were just black. No whites, no irises, just emptiness. I backed away and spent the rest of my shift in the kitchen. When I left at 7, they were still there, still staring at their untouched coffee. I don't know what to do. I need this job, but I'm freaked out. I'm working again tonight. I'll update if anything else happens. If you've seen anything like this, please let me know. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. Update. Thanks for all the responses to my last post. To those who said I should quit, believe me, I've thought about it. But I need the money, and honestly, I'm curious. Maybe that'll get me killed, but I need to know what's going on. Last night was intense. I got to work and everything seemed normal at first. Well, our version of normal. Darlene still not blinking, Eddie still moving like a CGI character. Around 1 a.m., this guy came in. Looked totally ordinary, middle-aged, bit of a belly, thinning hair. But the moment he stepped inside, everything changed. The lights flickered. The jukebox stopped mid-song, and my coworkers, they all turned to look at him in perfect unison. The man didn't seem to notice. He sat at the counter and ordered a slice of pie. I served him, my hands shaking. As I set down the plate, I noticed his reflection in the napkin dispenser. Guys, he didn't have one. The seat looked empty in the reflection. I must have made a sound because he looked at me then. His eyes, they were normal 1 second, then they sort of shifted, like a camera lens focusing. Suddenly they were these swirling vortexes of color. He smiled, too wide, too many teeth, and said, "You're new here, aren't you?" Before I could answer, Darlene was there. She put her hand on my shoulder, and it was ice cold. "The boy's learning," she said, but her voice, it didn't come from her mouth. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. The man nodded, ate his pie in 2 inhuman bites, and left. The moment he was gone, everything snapped back to normal. The jukebox started up again. Darlene went back to her tables, Eddie to his grill. But here's the kicker. When I was cleaning up later, I found something under the man's plate. It looked like a small black egg. When I touched it, it crumbled to dust that spelled out 3 words on the counter. Don't be curious. I'm writing this from the break room. My shift ends in an hour. The regulars are due any minute now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll update again if I make it through the night. If you don't hear from me, well, I guess you'll know why. Final update. I'm alive. I think. But after what happened last night, I'm not sure if being alive is a good thing anymore. It started normally. The regulars came in at 3:17 a.m., right on schedule. They sat in their usual booth, ordered their coffee. I was on edge after the incident with the pie guy, jumping at every little sound. At 4 a.m., the front door opened. A woman walked in, young, maybe my age. She looked lost, confused, like she had no idea how she'd gotten there. She sat at the counter, staring at her hands. I approached her, asked if she wanted to order. She looked up at me, and I saw tears in her eyes. "I don't know why I'm here," she whispered. "I was just driving home and then I felt pulled here." What is this place? Before I could answer, I heard it, that clicking sound the regulars make. But this time it was louder, hungry somehow. I turned to look at their booth, and I swear to God they were changing. Their faces were melting, reforming into something, not human. All those black eyes fixed on the girl. Darlene appeared next to me. "It's time, honey," she said, her voice that same everywhere and nowhere sound. "You've seen enough. You need to choose." "Choose what?" I asked. Eddie called from the kitchen, his voice like grinding metal. "Whether you're a customer," he pointed at the girl who was now frozen in place, her eyes wide with terror, "or part of the staff." He gestured at himself and Darlene. The regulars stood up, their bodies twisting and elongating as they moved towards us. The girl started screaming. I'd love to tell you I was brave, that I fought them off, saved the girl, burned the diner to the ground. But the truth is, I was terrified. And curious. So goddamn curious about what was really going on. I looked at Darlene and nodded. What happened next? I don't have words for it. Pain, transformation, revelation. I saw beyond the veil of reality, understood what the diner really was. A waypoint, a place between places, and we, the staff, are its caretakers. I'm still me, sort of. I still work the night shift, but now I understand. The regulars, interdimensional travelers, the confused customers like that girl, lost souls, fuel for the cosmic engine that keeps this place running. Darlene's training me. I'm learning to move like Eddie, to see like they do. I don't need to blink anymore. To those of you who told me to quit, to run away, I should have listened. But it's too late now. I'm part of this place. Forever. If you're driving late at night and see a diner, glowing like a beacon in the darkness, keep driving. Don't stop. Don't be curious, because if you do, I might be the one serving you coffee that you can't drink, waiting for you to feed the hunger that's always gnawing at the edges of reality. This is my final update. My break's over. The regulars will be here soon, and we're expecting some new customers. Remember, don't be curious. It's safer that way.